Hello, welcome to 200 Years of Human Sci-Fi. This is the third episode of our time travel series. The story we're going to talk about is Dragon Ball. In this video, I will introduce you to a concept called the time view, which allows changes in the past without affecting the future. Let's explore this concept through the story of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is a Japanese manga series and a science fiction story. It has sold over 250 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling manga series. Although the main plot of Dragon Ball is not about time travel, it does have a very interesting time travel storyline. Let me give you a brief overview of the overall story of Dragon Ball. The story takes place in the future of the human world. In this world there is a large company called Capsule Corporation. This company provides a magical product. It looks like a small capsule the size of a peanut, but when you throw it on the ground like a firecracker, a real car appears in front of you. You can drive it just like any other car. When you're done using the car and need to park it, you simply press a button, and it transforms back into a capsule, saving space. Besides cars, other objects like houses, submarines, airplanes, and guns can also be transformed into capsules, making them easy to carry. At the beginning of the story, the daughter of the CEO of Capsule Corporation, Bulma, decides to embark on a journey to find something called Dragon Balls. It is said that there are 7 Dragon Balls scattered on Earth. The Dragon Balls are yellow crystal balls the size of a tennis ball, with 1 to 7 stars inside, hence they are called 1-star ball, 2-star ball, 3-star ball, and so on. Individually, each Dragon Ball is not useful, but if you can gather all 7 Dragon Balls, you can summon a giant dragon several stories tall called Shenron. Shenron can grant any wish you desire. Bulma, being a talented inventor, develops a dragon radar that can detect the exact locations of the 7 Dragon Balls. With the radar, she sets off on her journey to find the Dragon Balls. Her wish, once she gathers all 7 Dragon Balls, is to have a Prince Charming as her boyfriend. It's a small wish, but it sets the stage for the story of Dragon Ball, which initially seems like a simple love story. During Bulma's search for the Dragon Balls, she encounters the main protagonist of Dragon Ball, Son Goku. When Bulma first meets Goku, he is a boy under the age of 10, living alone in the mountains, leading a primitive life like a wild man. Goku is exceptionally skilled at hunting and killing wild beasts. Goku possesses a 4-star Dragon Ball, which was left to him by his deceased grandfather. Bulma realizes that Goku is incredibly strong, far surpassing ordinary humans, so she persuades him to join her in the quest for the Dragon Balls. Goku, having nothing else to do, agrees to join her. As they travel, they encounter a talking pig named Oolong, who also joins their group. The 3 of them set off together to find the Dragon Balls. Now let me provide some commentary. Doesn't the beginning of this story resemble the Chinese mythological tale Journey to the West? Both stories involve a legendary treasure in the world, and along the way, they face various challenges. Bulma's character is similar to Tang Sanzang as she initiates this treasure-seeking journey. Along the way, she attracts Goku, who possesses both strength and intelligence, and later, a pig joins them. It's evident that the story initially imitates Journey to the West, but as the story progresses, Goku meets a wise old man named Master Roshi. This old man is quite interesting. He appears to be a mischievous old man who likes beautiful women, but in reality, Master Roshi is a powerful hero who once saved the world. He has exceptional martial arts skills. Master Roshi sees potential in Goku and teaches him all his lifelong martial arts skills. During this process, Goku encounters various new enemies and makes many new friends. Due to the fact that Dragon Ball is a serialized story that took 10 years to write, the author, Akira Toriyama, also grew and evolved while creating this story. During this 10-year period, his intentions underwent significant changes. As Son Goku grew up, Dragon Ball transformed from a story about treasure hunting into a story about heroes defending the Earth. In reality, the protagonist, Son Goku, is not from Earth. He is an alien from a planet called Saya. He is a saiyan, and although saiyans look similar to Earthlings, their power is immense. Their speed and fighting abilities far surpass those of Earthlings. Additionally, Saiyans have enormous appetites. When they go to a restaurant alone, they often say, "Bring me everything your restaurant can cook," and then proceed to eat everything in the restaurant. In the eyes of Saiyans, the fighting abilities of humans are simply pitiful. We know that there is a famous internet term called trash tier fighter, which originated from Dragon Ball. The scene was when a Saiyan had just landed on Earth and upon seeing a human said, "Oh, so you're just a weakling with a power level of 5, hence the term trash tier fighter." Later on, People use this term to describe weak individuals. Generally, Saiyans have a very hot-tempered nature and tend to resort to violence at the slightest provocation. However, because Son Goku, a Saiyan, grew up on Earth and made many friends, his personality became very gentle. He considered Earth his home. With the help of the Dragon Balls, Son Goku and his friends continuously defeated many waves of villains, and were always able to redeem them in the end, turning enemies into friends. As more and more villains were defeated, Son Goku gained more and more friends. These people trained together, sparred with each other, and their fighting skills improved. They eventually formed a group called the Dragon Ball Warriors, united by their knowledge of the Dragon Balls and their common goal of defending the Earth. The story of Dragon Ball later became a tale where, whenever the fighting abilities of the Dragon Ball Warriors reached a certain level, Akira Toriyama would send a villain who was just a little too strong for them to invade Earth. So the story of Dragon Ball can be summarized as a story where the difficulty of the challenge matches the abilities of the characters. Now let's focus on the stories of two major villains. In these stories, the theme of time travel is involved. The background of the story is as follows. When Son Goku was young, he defeated a secret military organization called the Red Ribbon Army. However, this army was not willing to accept defeat and continuously sought revenge. They were developing a secret weapon for revenge, which turned out to be artificial humans. As the Red Ribbon Army's technology advanced, they successfully created two extremely powerful artificial humans, known as Android 17 and Android 18. Their goal was to kill Son Goku and all the Dragon Ball warriors. However, at this time, the Dragon Ball warriors were unaware of the existence of these two artificial humans. Now, the story takes a turn with the introduction of time travel. One day, a young man suddenly appears before the Dragon Ball warriors, and he is also a formidable fighter. Everyone is surprised because besides the Dragon Ball warriors, it is unlikely to find such a powerful person in this world. This young man from the future is referred to as the Future Trunks. He explains that he has traveled back in time using a time machine. He points to a small boy in Bulma's arms and says, "This is what the little boy will grow up to look like." By the way, at the beginning of the story, Bulma and one of the Dragon Ball warriors fell in love and had this 2-year-old boy. Future Trunks then proceeds to provide a wealth of information about the Dragon Ball warriors, all of which is accurate. Everyone instantly believes him and asks why he has come back. Future Trunks explains that he has come to warn them that they will all be killed by androids 17 and 18. The Dragon Ball warriors find this hard to believe because they are all skilled fighters. They question how it is possible for them to be defeated by artificial humans. Future Trunks challenges their disbelief by saying, "Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I watched each of you get killed one by one." He then proceeds to tell each of them how they died in great detail. Everyone is left dumbfounded and silent. However, in this list of deaths, there is one name missing: Son Goku, the strongest fighter among the Dragon Ball warriors. Son Goku asks, wait, how did I die?" Future Trunks replies, "Unfortunately, you didn't participate in the battle because you quickly succumbed to a heart disease. You died from an illness. But don't worry, one of the reasons I came back this time was to bring you a special medicine from our era that can cure your heart disease. Here, take it, eat it, and you'll be fine." Then everyone continued to ask, "Hey, who invented the time machine in your era?" The future boy pointed at Bulma and said, "My mom invented the time machine in our era. In our time, humanity was on the brink of extinction. Everyone was desperate, but only my mom remained optimistic and relied on her talent for machines to develop the time machine." Future Bulma then said to me, "Son, if you can go back in time and meet Mr. Goku and the others, you will surely find a way to deal with Android 17 and 18. Then everyone asked, "Okay, let's assume we take action now and kill them before Android 17 and 18 are activated. Will our era be saved?" Then I asked, "What will happen to the already activated Android 17 and 18 in your era? Will they just disappear in an instant?" "Wow, you asked a great question," Future Bulma replied. "This is a typical question that involves the concept of time and space. Here, let me introduce you to a scientific concept called the grandfather paradox. It's a hypothetical scenario where a person travels back in time and shoots his own grandfather before his father is born. Will this person still be born?" The grandfather paradox is a classic problem in time travel. In our previous story, which is the setting of Back to the Future, the answer is no, the person will not be born. If someone dares to kill their own grandfather, they will disappear on the spot. But in the Dragon Ball setting, the answer is yes. The person will still be born. The timeline where his grandfather dies and the timeline where he exists will form two parallel universes. One universe has him, and one universe doesn't. In other words, the past can be changed, but it won't affect the future. To help you understand better, let me give you an analogy. We can imagine different timelines as small boats moving in the same direction on a river. You can jump from your own boat to someone else's boat and even change the course of their boat. But when you jump back to your own boat, it remains unchanged by the other boats. Each boat is separate, with no connection to the others. You still have to face your own enemies and challenges in your own timeline. The future boy said, "So my purpose in coming here is to save all of you because you are my friends. Secondly, I can gain experience from fighting against number 17 and number 18. For example, I can find out if they have any weaknesses, or maybe you can train me to become stronger so that I can go back to my time and defeat them. Another problem is that my time is in a bad state. There are no decent warriors left. I can't even find someone to spar with." So, after hearing what the future boy said, do you all think it makes sense? So the Dragon Ball warriors mobilized. Following the future boy's guidance, they found the secret base of number 17 and number 18. Unfortunately, the two androids were activated. The Dragon Ball warriors fought against them but soon realized they were too powerful. They couldn't defeat them. What should they do? That's right, they still couldn't win. At this moment, Son Goku led everyone to a mysterious place called the Room of Spirit and Time. This place had an interesting setup. It was like a different dimension with endless food and water. The outside world was vast, with infinite space. The air here was thin, with temperatures fluctuating between -50 and -40 degrees Celsius. The gravity was 10 times that of Earth. This harsh environment was perfect for the Dragon Ball warriors to train. And more importantly, spending 1 year in this different dimension was equivalent to 1 day in the outside world. So, this place was perfect for a last-minute training session. For example, if there were only 3 days left until the final battle with the enemy, they could quickly enter this room and train for 3 years. After coming out, they would be able to defeat their formidable opponents. So the future boy entered the Room of Spirit and Time with the Dragon Ball warriors, and trained for 3 years. After intense training, when the future boy walked out of the room, he had become incredibly powerful. Defeating number 17 and number 18 was now a piece of cake. But at this point, the story of Dragon Ball took a different turn. Another even more powerful villain named Cell was released. So, number 17 and number 18 were no longer the main enemies of the Dragon Ball warriors. In the following events, the future boy and the Dragon Ball warriors united to defeat Cell. Number 17 died, and number 18 was influenced by the Dragon Ball warriors and became one of them. After completing their mission, the future boy boarded a time machine and returned to his own time. When he arrived back in his time, number 17 and number 18 were still causing trouble. But the future boy was now on a completely different level. He easily defeated the two androids in just 10 minutes. And with that, we conclude the story of Dragon Ball's time travel. This concept of timelines being able to change without affecting each other's lives is a way to avoid the grandfather paradox we mentioned earlier. By traveling between these timelines, you may not be able to change anything, but you can transmit information. You can warn people in the past about future disasters, or bring the wisdom of the past to the future. And it was through exchanging information between two timelines that the future boy helped both worlds solve their problems. And with that, we conclude the story of the androids in Dragon Ball. In the next episode, we will tell the story of Terminator, where humans and robots will engage in a global war. You will witness a time travel concept filled with destiny. Until then, see you in the next episode.